Alright, so the Cavs lost. Yes, I know. LeBron's now 3-5 in the finals, which honestly doesn't really matter. I mean, only people that actually talk about finals records are like the people that watch Skip Bayless, and those guys don't know crap about basketball. If you watch the finals, you'll know that LeBron balled out. That was probably the greatest finals performance I've ever seen him play, other than probably 2015, but all in all, that was an amazing finals, and I really enjoyed watching him play. Didn't enjoy the Warriors because, once again, Kevin Durant joined 73-win team, so there was basically no competition at all. I already knew the Warriors were going to win. I predicted it, so that's that. But for next season, I'm going to try to tell you guys like the best way that the Cavs would be able to take to actually compete for a championship next season. The first thing you guys probably heard from my video from yesterday after the game. I made a video with my phone. The first step that they need to do is trade Kevin Love for Paul George. Now, I didn't explain how they can do it last video, but I'll explain it right now. Right now with the Pacers, they have to get rid of Paul George, because if they don't, Paul George is going to leave them from free agency, and they're going to get nothing for him. If he leaves them for nothing, then that's basically going to be the worst move they can ever do. So if you trade Paul George for Kevin Love still has 2 more years in his contract, so you still have Kevin Love for 2 years. Paul George is leaving after next season, and you would rather get something like Kevin Love rather than nothing at all. And Kevin Love is a good player, so he can fit good in the Pacers style. So all Paul George really has to do is just go to the management and tell them, hey, if you guys want something for me, trade me for Kevin Love, because I want to go to the Cavs in the free agency. That way, if he says that, other teams are going to try to trade for Paul George, because he already made it clear that he wants to join the Cavs. That way, the Cavs get him for sure. That's if he tells the Pacers that. So that's the first move. They get Paul George for Kevin Love. Second move, they have a mid salary, whatever, where you can just give a player 6 or 7 million. So with that, I think they should first of all get rid of Deron Williams. We do not want him. And you can keep Kyle Korver, but Deron Williams, get rid of him. He was absolutely trash in the finals. That was so garbage. I can't believe we actually thought he was going to do good. But so you get rid of Deron Williams, and you can sign probably Rudy Gay or PJ Tucker. Either one would be great. If you get both, that's even better. But I would rather Rudy Gay. But if you can get PJ Tucker, that's a great defensive player and somewhat good at offense. But Rudy Gay is like a great all-around player. Great at defense, and he's a solid defender. So I would rather Rudy Gay for sure. So that's the second move. If you get Rudy Gay and Paul George, that's two-way players that can actually be relied on in the finals. And Rudy Gay would probably be the best guy off the bench. Next thing, I believe you gotta trade Iman Shumpert. Iman Shumpert, the Cavs almost got Patrick Beverley for Iman Shumpert last season, and I believe they should actually go for that. They should go for that this season. They should try it again. Because Patrick Beverley, man, Patrick Beverley is a monster on the defensive end. The Cavs' biggest problem this season was their defense. If their defense stepped up, they would have won that game 3. And then it would have been tied 2-2, and it would have been 3-2 by now. And then the Cavs would have won game 6, and then it would have went to game 7, and anything can happen in a game 7. All they need to do was just improve their defense. If they got Patrick Beverley for Iman Shumpert, even though Iman Shumpert is a solid defender, Patrick Beverley is a million times better. He can lock down Curry like nobody's locked down before. Every time Curry goes up against him, he always frustrates him. And that's what you need. You need to get physical. You need to frustrate these. You need to get physical defenders. Physicality is what beats the Warriors. Warriors hate it when teams are physical. That's their biggest kryptonite, is physicality. So if you got Patrick Beverley for Iman Shumpert, if you go for that again, I think you'd be like in the most perfect position to win in 2018. Now, the next person I believe that should be traded is trade Channing Frye and J.R. Smith in the same trade. I don't know who you can get for Channing Frye and J.R. Smith, but I'm sure you can get something really good for them. I believe that they should go for another defender because, again, defense wins you championships. If you can get another like fourth defender, you'd be in the best position to lock down the big four that they have. You know, you don't really have to lock down Draymond Green because Draymond Green isn't good at offense. But like Patrick Beverley would be on Steph Curry. Then you'd have Paul George on KD. And then you'd have LeBron on whoever. Because let's be honest, LeBron's getting a little bit older. So he can't... He's still in his prime. He's still an amazing defender. But he played 45 minutes. I mean, how much defense do you expect him to play in 45 minutes? He was exhausted. Anybody that was watching knows he was exhausted. He could not give all that energy on defense. You need to bring people that can play defense. If you don't bring people that can play defense, LeBron's not going to play as good on the offensive end. So that's why you got Paul George on KD. And then you'd have Rudy Gay, if you get Rudy Gay, or PJ Tucker coming off the bench to guard KD as well. That way, LeBron James doesn't have to do anything on defense. If LeBron James can just slack on defense and only focus on offense, that's the best position the Cavs can be in. Because if you got to have LeBron actually working on defense, your offense is going to struggle because he runs the entire offense. He's the one that passes. He's the one that gets teammates going. He's the one that gets you points when you need it the most. So you can't have him using all of his energy on the defensive end, which is why getting Rudy Gay or PJ Tucker, as well as the Paul George trade, that completely erases the defensive struggles. And as well, if you can get, as I said, Patrick Beverley on Curry, you don't even have to worry about anything else. If you got Patrick Beverley on Curry, you don't even have to worry about Kyrie Irving's defense or any of that. So, I mean, all those things would just add up. It would be, because as I said, the only thing that the Cavs have to focus right now is, first of all, getting Paul George. That's the most important thing. And then second of all, just getting two-way players that are really good defensive players, because defense is their biggest struggle. If they can erase that defensive problem, they'll probably be, if not favorites, 50-50 on who's going to win the 2018 championship. But I definitely believe that Kevin Love has to go, because this is the second straight finals where he showed up a little bit earlier, but then when the pressure came, he was nowhere to be found. You cannot have Kevin Love again. I don't care about the chemistry and all that stuff. You gotta let go of Kevin Love. And Tristan Thompson, I believe he should stay. Tristan Thompson he played his part. You can't expect him to do any more than what he did. I mean, he doesn't have high expectations. You just expect him to grab the rebounds and that's it. And he did his job, except for the beginning. The first 2 games he was awful. But after that, he kind of started doing what was necessary to win. So either you keep him or you trade him for like a really good big man, because Tristan Thompson's worth a really good big man. He's probably one of the best offensive rebounders, and he probably gives the most effort in the entire NBA. He gives a lot of effort. So if you're gonna trade him, you better trade him for somebody good, like, I don't know, probably Hassan Whiteside, DeAndre Jordan. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that any teams would do that, but I believe he's worth that. But I'm sure other teams wouldn't do that. But if you're gonna trade him, I mean, probably Ibaka. Ibaka's really good. Ibaka's gonna be a free agent. So if you can get Ibaka on the free agency, you can get another two-way player for Tristan Thompson. Doesn't have to be a big man. That's another idea that the Cavs can do. I'm just giving a lot of ideas right now. I mean, David Griffin better use this. David Griffin is going to sign. I'm sure he's going to sign again. So he better start using these ideas that I'm giving. If the Cavs actually do even half of the things, especially getting Paul George, if they do half of the things that I just said, they're gonna compete for a championship for sure, and it's gonna definitely go to a game 7. And as I said, anything can happen in a game 7. They just gotta first of all get Paul George and get defensive players, two-way players that can give you something on offense and be very solid on defense, because defense again was their biggest problem. They solved that issue and they solved their championship struggles. Okay, that's the biggest thing that prevented them from winning this year. Because as I said, if they won or if they had solid defense, they would have won game 3, and then they would have lost game 5, so it would have been 3-2 right now, and then they would have went to game 7 or game 6 and won it. It would have been 3-3, and then game 7, as always, anything can happen in a game 7. That's just my theory. I'm 100% sure that's what would have happened if they played good defense, but that's just what I say. Who cares about what I say? So hope you guys like this video. I'll probably make a 2K video that uses this lineup that I talked about, so look out for that video. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.